Hi, it's Professor Demersion here. Let me add a little light to that. Okay, I just want to, this first tutorial is just going to recap what we did yesterday. So this whole thing here, this is our working area and it's called the patch. And I like to work with this grid on because it helps me see when I'm locked and unlocked. Those are really like the two main ways that you're working with the patch, and I'll kind of illustrate what the difference is as we kind of work today. What I wanted to show you just in this tutorial today is highlights a few like key little features that we used in that main video cube patch that we were looking at. So I wanted to show you how we did some of those things that allowed you to take keyboard assignments and use your mouse state and things like that to kind of control that video cube. So one element that we used in that is a gate, and so one way that you can just, if you know the name of the object, you can just hit the N key, and then this kind of new object thing comes up, and you hit GATE. The tilde down here is for audio signals. We're going to get into that after. We just want the regular gate, and you can kind of see how I can stretch that like that there. You can do that with pretty much any object. And so the gate is just saying whatever comes through this inlet, put out this outlet, but only when there's a 1 that's in here. If there's a 0 that's coming in here, stop it. So an easy way to create a 1 and 0 is with this toggle. I'm going to reach over here and grab a toggle. Okay? Now, just to make an illustration, I'm going to click on the output of the toggle and put it into the input of the integer. I just hit the I key to bring that up. We do that so many times it's almost like breathing. So anyhow, if you ever want to line these up, I'm going to select all three and I'm going to go Command Y and it straightens them out. And you can kind of select it, and I'm hitting the down arrow here to just kind of neaten that up. Okay, so what we're doing here now, I just locked it. I can go down here and lock it and unlock it, but I like to use quick, because we do this so often. If you just click in any white area of the patch, hold down the Command key and click, it locks it. And what that does is it allows me to actively click in the patch. Now it's kind of like in like performance mode in a way. So when I click off, it's a 0 and 1. So that 0 and 1 is saying let whatever's coming through here through, or don't let it pass. And that's what the gate does. And there's lots of times where you just want to gate something, and there's a partner one called switch. We'll get to that down the road. So just to illustrate that, I'm going to hold down the Option key and drag, just like Photoshop or lots of other computer programs. If you want to duplicate something, that's another integer box here, and now whatever comes through, we can see it coming through here. So what we need is some data to come through here, and oftentimes it's useful to have to be able to generate random numbers. And that's what I'm going to do. Now we could look over on this right hand side for how they, okay, it's not going to be audio, it's not going to be like buttons, control, maybe they have it in there, but I know if I just maybe data, maybe not there. Anyhow, for now, let's just type it in. It would be on a max object here too. I don't know where they. I know I use it so often. I don't know where they kind of hide it. But oh, math is the thing. Okay, so if you forget, it's under math. We're just going to grab that and drag it out. Just like lots of other programs, there's 3 ways to do everything. So you could have also just hit the N key and started to type the word, and then you just look for it there and then double click it. So it's 2 ways of doing the same thing. Now one of the things that we talked about is some objects use a what they call an argument. And look, it's telling you what the arguments are. It's the range. That's the really important one. And we're going to put a range of let's do for right now. Let's put 12. That's a chromatic scale from C to C with a in Western music. And so this is something that you could put any number in here. You could type in 1,000, and the thing that this needs in order to deliver that number out its left outlet, it needs a thing called a bang. And we do that with this button object is one of the ways that we can send out a bang. And a bang is just like a thing that says do it. So now I'm going to go into lock mode, command click on an empty part of the patch. Now with this is open, because it says a 1 here, we should see a random number appear here when I hit this bang. 11, great. 1, 9. Okay, these are random numbers between 0 and 11. Because this random object counts between 0 and 11. 12 random numbers starting from 0. A lot of computer programs count from 0 upwards. It's a little weird to get used to, but just go with it for right now. Just kind of make a mental note. Now, one of the things that another object that we learned about is this cool metro object that allows you to systematically bang this thing. So in other words, on controlled frequent basis. And so this is probably under maybe still, I think if we still look at Macs, it would be wonder how they frame it. Lists, no, live is MIDI, maybe it's MIDI. Okay, I just don't want to waste your time watching this video, watching me scroll through that. I'm just going to type METRO. Whoops. Here it is. Okay, this also really requires an argument, or it's going to be flying. And you could do this actually in, I'll show you how to do this in musical terms at some point in time. You could say quarter notes here, and if you go like 4N, and that'll bang out quarter notes depending on what, and then you can control the tempo, and that way if you change the tempo it'll still be doing quarter notes. It's a little fun trick. That's something we'll get into in a little bit. For right now, this is every second we're going to bang that out, and this also requires a toggle. I just did the T key there. It's a quick key, and let's throw an integer box over here if we want to change that tempo. Okay, we could just change by typing a new number in here on your number keypad when this is locked. You can change the tempo. Now if I type 500 in here, this 500 replaces the 1000. That's a really key idea. Let's just do the same thing. I'm going to option drag that down here. If we want to make this a 2-octave scale, don't worry if you're not musically inclined and know what the hell I'm talking about. Just that's fine. You're just expanding. Okay, it's 24 notes. Think of that keyboard. You're going, instead of just 12 notes, you're doing 24. Now every half a second we're going to start to see new numbers in the range between, now I've expanded the range between 0 and 23. Okay, time for some coffee. Okay, great. This is looking good. Now I think Tiffany was saying, well, let's do something with this. What the hell are we doing this for? And so I just quickly thought, well, maybe we can make something generate random music. We could just as easily have some kind of visual consequence from this, and we're going to do visual stuff on Thursday, so don't worry. This class is not all going to be about music. I was just kind of trying to illustrate that you could do both visuals and music in our first class. That was the main idea. Let's use this thing called a K slider, and I encourage you, you can explore all of these anytime you want. I'm just going to duplicate what we've kind of know, and so I threw that down. And now a great thing that came up last night was for every one of these objects here, you can hold down the Option key and click it when it's unlocked, and this brings up the help file. And the way that we use Max, the computer program that we're in, is to steal these portions of the help file that you need. So what I want to do is I'm just going to grab this, I'm going to click and drag on that, and these are comments. Those were those things I was telling you about how we communicate. So if you, we'll look at that in 1 second. If you can send those to me. I'm going to get rid of this guy because I have it in the other one, but it's all patched up and I don't have to. The less kind of clicking and making those patch cords, the better. So I encourage you to be lazy and to steal. Hey, that sounds like a good plan. Now let's save this. I'm just going to save it and say tutorial video tutorial. Whoop, if I could just spell. Okay. Now there's a little bit of a problem. Let me show you what it is. So you can actually, when this is locked like it is now, you can actually, let's turn up the volume here. This is velocity. That means how loud do you want that okay, so I don't know why my velocity, maybe it's because it's not being banged. Okay. You can see how the reason why, I'm going to just stop that for a second. I want to just show you one thing. If I click here, do you see that number 60 that came out when I clicked the C note? And here, this is going to be 61, 62, 63, 64. So those are the way that MIDI is set up. There's 88 keys on this keyboard, and it uses there are these notes that are kind of in the more audible range. These low notes are tough to hear sometimes, and so you can see this is 36. What we need to do is take these numbers in the range of, let's bring this back to 12 just to make the math easier. If we have numbers from 0 to 11, and we want these to be in the range of, let's say, 60 to 72, okay? I want those to be in that range. All I got to do is add 60, and then all the notes are going to be within from here to here. That's going to be the range that they'll come out into. And so this is the heaviest kind of math that we do in this class right now. You're going to see it. We're going to use this addition object. I'm just going to hit the plus sign. I'm going to say plus 60. But I just wanted you to see why we did that. Is we're going to put those notes in a range that's more audible, and not that 0 to 12 range is you can barely hear it. So now when I hit this, you're going to see numbers always in this range. Okay? And now I'm going to put that as, now we can kind of hear this. So this is the loudest. Okay. Now you could, okay, great. One last thing that we did in class, what I'm going to do is another video tutorial to show you ways that you can mess with this to make it not so robotic and more human, kind of adding that organic idea that we talked about, so this kind of, your computer program takes on a little brain of its own. One last little thing, let's say we want to pause that, turn it off and on, let that gate come off and on. The last thing I wanted to show you is key, is this kind of a listening device that shows you what it's saying what key is being pressed right now. I'm going to lock it, and I'm going to hit the G key, 103. Let's say the G key is going to open this gate when I toggle that back and forth. Now all I need to do, this select You can spell it as SEL is a little shortcut, FYI. You if you type the argument of 103, let me just hit G again. Yes, it's 103. Into that, it's saying when I get the number one, I'm listening, looking for numbers, I'm sending out numbers, When select is saying I'm looking for numbers, but just the number 103 here. When I get that, I'm going to send out a 1, okay? And if we connected a integer box here, I again, we can watch that. So I'm going to hit E, blah, 100D, F, okay, G. It's going to it's sending out, basically it's sending out a bang here. Okay, I'm hitting those different keys, and it sends out a bang when I hit this note. That bang, just like this bang. Okay, sorry about that. We're using that bang to turn this off and on. Okay, I'm going to bring this down. And that is the patch that we did yesterday in class. I'm going to show you a few little tricks that I want you to do for your homework. Okay, that'll be the next thing.